All right, let's look at the homework 7.4, problem number 4. All right, so we have this surface z equals the square root of 25 minus x squared minus y squared, which is the top hemisphere. And what we want to do is we want to find the partial derivative with respect to x, evaluated at 4, 0, 3. All right, so let's do that. All right, so first, I don't like square roots, so I'm going to rewrite it as quantity 25 minus x squared minus y squared to the 1/2 power. Right? Let's find the partial derivative with respect to x. So partial of z with respect to x. Right? So this is going to be a power rule, so it's put 1/2 in front. Keep exactly the same inside function, so 25 minus x squared minus y squared. And then subtract 1 from the power, so it's going to be negative 1/2. Then you would have to multiply by the partial derivative of the inside function. So derivative of 25 is 0. Partial of negative x squared would be negative 2x. And the partial of negative y squared would be 0, because y is considered to be a constant. So we have that. Then we can cancel 2 on the bottom and 2 on top, so you can cancel that. Then we can probably rewrite it as, right, so there's a negative sign right here, so we put the negative sign here. Right, then you have x on top, so I'm gonna write just the x on top here. Right, and since there's a negative power right here, so 25 minus x squared minus y squared is gonna go on the bottom. So you have a 25 minus x squared minus y squared goes on the bottom. But don't forget that there's 1/2 power, which is a square root. So you have square root there. All right, so we have that. All right, then we're going to evaluate this at 4, 0, 3. So we just have to, partial of z with respect to x evaluated at 4, 0, 3. So this is going to be equal to negative, right? So x value is 4. So we put 4 on top here, right? Then we have a square root of, right, 25 minus, right, it's x is 4, so it's a 4 squared, right? Minus y is 0, so we know that it's going to be just a 0 squared. Right? So this is going to be equal to negative 4 over, right, so it's a 25 minus 4 squared is 16, so 25 minus 16 would be 9. Square root of 9 would be 3. Right? So the value is negative 4/3. Right? Let's type it in. So we got negative 4/3. All right, let's check the answer. All right, I came back and looks like we got the part A correctly, right? So let's look at part B. So we're going to do the partial with respect to y and plug in the same point, all right? So let's do that. All right, so for part B, so this was a part A, and part B is actually pretty much the same thing. We are taking the partial derivative of z with respect to y, right? So power rule, so put 1/2 in front, right? Keep exactly the same inside function, so we're not going to change this guy. And then subtract the 1 from 1/2, so it's going to be negative 1/2, just like before. And then, but you have to multiply by the partial derivative of the inside function with respect to y, right? Partial derivative of 25 is 0. Partial derivative of negative x squared would be 0, because it's with respect to y. And a partial derivative of negative y squared would be negative 2y, right? Which can be rewritten as negative, right? Just like before, it's kind of a symmetric work here, right? So you have y on top, then you have a square root of 25 minus x squared minus y squared. All right. So if you evaluate this partial derivative with respect to y at the point 4, 0, 3, right? This is going to be negative, right? But in this case, y is 0, so we're not going to really worry about the denominator. But I'm just going to write it down. So 25 minus x is 4 squared minus y is 0 squared. But since the numerator is already 0, so the whole fraction is of course 0. Right? So let's type it in. So answer for part B is 0. Right? Let's check the answer. All right, I came back and looks like we got the part B correctly as well. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.